few years ago, I was looking for a job where I could make a difference and really help people. I couldn't quite believe it when I saw an advert for a position with Herts Young Homeless. It sounded like the perfect opportunity for me, but not perhaps for the reasons you might think. When I sent in the application, I wondered if the person reading it might recognise my name or remember the story of the 16-year-old girl in such a desperate situation. For most teenagers, their first year of A-levels is a time of fun and excitement, of studying and planning for the future. But my experience of that time was very different. I fell pregnant that year and it stopped my life in its tracks. Home was already turbulent, but I wanted to stay there and have my baby. When I told my mum that I was pregnant, we had a huge argument and things got worse really quickly. Mum's partner was violent, and after I called the police on him, Mum kicked me out. I went to live with Nan, but Mum and her partner started threatening her. I didn't want Nan to get hurt, but I didn't know what else to do. I asked the council for help, but they told me I'd have to leave school if I wanted a house because they only had properties miles away in Peterborough. I was desperate to finish my A-levels and go on to uni, but every time I told that to the people at the council, they just laughed at me. I thought about going back home, but I was so worried about my baby's safety. I felt like I'd run out of options and I'd end up on the streets. But then, someone at my school gave me the number for Herts Young Homeless. That's the moment my life changed for a second time. I met with my Herts Young Homeless worker and I told her everything. She didn't judge me and she was incredibly compassionate. I felt like I had someone who actually heard my worries and had my best interests at heart. She even believed me when I told her about my plans for university. She set up a meeting with the council and she did something amazing. She persuaded them to give me and my baby supported accommodation in my area. I couldn't believe it and I was so relieved. I lived there for 9 months and then the council were able to find permanent accommodation for me and my baby. It meant I could stay at school and carry on with my education. My Herts Young Homeless worker probably doesn't know how much her support impacted my life. I could have returned home with my child, living in the same chaos and instability that I did. I may have given up trusting professionals and not engaged in the wonderful support I was given, which gave me the tools to be the mother I am today. And what about uni? Well, I left school with 4 A-levels, then went on to earn a degree and a master's. And the best bit of all, I got the job that I applied for with Herts Young Homeless. Now that I've been there for a while, I can see that my experience was not extraordinary. It was a very ordinary experience from a charity full of extraordinary people doing extraordinary work. Looking back, I feel that I've broken the cycle I was born into and was doomed to repeat. Herts Young Homeless played a big part in that, and I'll always be grateful to that support worker who listened and didn't judge.